स्वागत करते हैं जी एक बार फिर आप सब ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਪਿਰਚੁਅਲ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਥ ਨੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਟਿਨ ਅਤੇ ਅਲੀਸ਼ਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਈਸ਼ਾ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ। ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਈਸ਼ਾ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਲਿਆਂਦੀ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸਪਿਰਚੁਅਲਿਟੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਭਾਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਆਈ, ਔਰ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ। Thank you. So Isha, we'll start off with yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do and how did you get associated with the Isha Foundation?
I work in customer service. I work at the Banyan bookstore. And I was actually in graduate school. I was pursuing a graduate diploma in physics, and I came across a video of YouTube of Sadhguru, and this is how I first heard of him. And after this, he made a very big impression on me, and I decided I wanted to take a program. So I was living in Ontario at the time, and Sadhguru came for a public talk, much like the one that we had in Vancouver just this past fall. He came for the May meeting in 2011, and I came and I saw him speaking, and he convinced us to take this program. So I took the online portion of the program over the summer. And then by the time in November 2011, when I took the program, I took it with him at the Toronto Convention Centre.
So it's been about 6 years since you've been associated with them.
Yes.
We'll learn more from you as to what was that impactful thing that impacted you. Yes. We'll learn after this talk to Kristin. Kristin, tell us, what do you do and how did you get associated with the Isha Foundation?
So I have a business, a martial arts business, and I also work in risk mitigation. And in 2015, I was switching careers. I was actually in banking. I worked for Scotiabank for about 4 years at that time as a senior personal banker. And I was switching careers, and I saw a video of Sadhguru on the internet. And I thought I didn't know anything about spirituality. I am not a spiritual person. I don't consider myself that. But the clarity that he spoke with resonated with me, and I thought, I need to see this person. I need to see more of what he has to say. So I traveled to Chicago in 2015 in May, and I did an engineering program with him there. And since then, it's been a life-changing 2 years, I would say.
We would like to know more about those life-changing experiences. At your age, when there's a race to succeed in your career, spirituality is a segment which is towards the back. One says once we get old, then or whatever religious scriptures we are told, we'll read them. That's it. So what was that impactful thing that affected you, that you watched that video, and what was it?
I think the video which I initially watched about Sadhguru, he was speaking about how your joy needs to be on self-start. And this really profoundly touched me, because I noticed I was pursuing so many things. I was always going out with my friends. I wanted to go to the concert, and I thought that's making me happy. But he says, no, I mean, what if you're just sitting in your room by yourself? Why aren't you happy? And I thought about it, and I said, oh, this, my joy is on push start, as he says. So I had to really look at it, and the program, after I took it, I found that it helped me enhance my capabilities. It helped me with my energy levels. It helped me with my mental clarity, which was extremely important at the time doing the kind of work that I was doing. So after I took the program, I noticed that these capabilities were actually enhanced, and my understanding now is that spirituality is very integral to the rest of your life and how you live this life.
So as Alicia is saying, always we try to find happiness from outward things, If we do this, then we'll get happy. So what was your experience? Were you also, that video which you saw made an impact on you? What was that thing, what Sadhguru said, which had a great impact on you?
For me, it's quite interesting, because I think I didn't even clue in that he was talking about joy, because I thought I was a very joyful person. I did all those activities on the outside, like I traveled to Nepal with friends, and we went there and we climbed mountains. I went to Alaska on motorcycles. I had a lot of fun activities that I would do. So for me, I thought that was the only way. I didn't even realize that there's a different way to be joyful, and I was happy with all the things that I was doing. For me, what resonated was how precisely he answered the questions, how, you watch other speakers and there's let's say a 20-minute talk, and at the end of the talk, maybe you're excited about what they said, but nothing stays with you. And it seems like Sadhguru answered questions on such a wide variety of topics, and always what he said was obvious, but after he said it, not before he said it. So that's what resonated a lot with me.
What you have said is, very important, because sometimes we get fascinated or influenced by someone saying something, but that is short period. It goes off, it wanes off later on.
Yes.
But how is it that Isha and Kristin, that these things kept on kind of bogging you? I would say that you continue to be influenced by that, and your life graph changed.
I think what happened for me was I got more and more involved with the organization.
Okay.
See, in the beginning, I looked at the work that they did, and I thought there must be a catch here.
Right.
Like, these people they're making money. Something's going. This was my mind.
Right.
I came from banking, so I don't want to say anything bad about banking. You look at the customer, but at the same time, you look at the profits of the company.
Right.
So you're always looking at two things at the same time. And to me, I had that mindset. I thought, these people must be doing the same thing. Like, there's no way. And the more I got involved with we're both volunteers right now, and we're bringing Sadhguru to Vancouver. Not just us, the whole volunteer effort here. But the more I got involved with them, the more I realized they don't look in two different ways at the same time. Like, they're really interested in developing people, and developing me, and developing everybody that they get in touch with.
Right.
And it was very interesting because at one point, I think I Googled, Sadhguru is also involved in what's called Isha Insight, and has a business leadership program, and there he talked about integrity, and I was like, integrity, that's a big word. Everybody throws it around.
Everybody talks about it, but when it falls on you, everybody forgets about it.
And what is it? Like, for me, it was like everybody had the craziest definitions about integrity. And he said, in that context, I'm not sure if this is all that he talks in all contexts, but he said, what you say, what you think, and what you do, if they're aligned, then that's what we refer as integrity in that context.
Right.
And I thought, they say these things, they do certain things, are they thinking the same things?
Right.
I don't know what they're thinking, but what they say and what they do,
right.
within about 6 months, I realized they're absolutely the same. And you see it in like very small things, in the way that you can talk beauty as much as you want, but if you do not have beauty in your own bedroom, it's hard to believe
you have to experience that to describe that.
Yes.
So Isha, the question comes that as you said, you were influenced, but how has your perspective on life changed after being associated with the Isha Foundation? What changes do you find between yourself after and before?
It's a very drastic change for me. I think that's why I've kept up with this practice, and I've kept up as a volunteer, because I saw the changes in myself. When I came into the program, I was sleeping a lot on my weekends. I used to be capable of sleeping, let's say, 14 hours on the weekend, just to recover from the working week, from the graduate work I was doing.
Right.
And then I also had a chronic ailment all throughout my life. Since my childhood, I had a skin condition. And after I took this program, I was keeping up with my practice at home, and I began to notice these changes.
Right.
So the first thing was that I had more energy. I didn't need to sleep. I didn't need to take caffeine to stimulate myself into getting awake. A lot of these compulsions that I had about food, for example, if somebody had chocolate cake, I would eat the whole thing. Now I can just let the chocolate cake be.
Right.
And so these were small changes at first.
So basically control over your emotions?
It's not even control. It's almost like it just comes from the inside out. There's like this peace, or that I just don't feel this need to grasp from outside. I just can be from.
It comes from inside.
From the inside.
Okay.
Yes.
When we talk about peace, everybody talks about peace. A lot of talk all over the world today is being done about meditation to keep you still. Now, basically, we are living in the 21st century. We have everything what we want, but despite that, we are not peaceful. We are stressed out. We are tense. Always on the move. Something or the other is happening, and we are becoming doings rather than beings. Tell us a little bit about this, as to what do you feel? What is life all about? After this perspective changes, how can anyone come to that state where you can become an observer and enjoy life rather than suffering from it?
Wow, that's a big question. I'm still hanging on the chocolate cake I was talking about. Yes. So, That is a really big question about what is life about, and I don't think a 33-year-old at this point can answer it. But there is definitely more clarity in my life, because before I had so many directions that I wanted to go in, and I wanted to pursue all those activities. It hasn't changed for me that I don't want to pursue all those activities. But more and more I see the priority. I see which is the activity that will make the biggest impact right now in the world. And I know there's many balls thrown in the air, like right now, ecology, saving animals, health, you know, all these things show up on our radar, especially with social media nowadays. But for me, it's looking at what is the thing that will make the biggest change. And I don't think, because of the society that we live in, I don't think this has been brought to the forefront. And Sadhguru's Isha Foundation and Sadhguru's mission is to raise human consciousness. These are big words, but truly, I think this is the most important thing that can be done at this point.
To raise your own consciousness.
As Alicia said, and it's just as simple as that. If you can make better decisions in this moment, you're going to have a better future. So if you choose to eat the cake today or not eat the cake today, this will have repercussions in the future. The point is not eating the cake or not eating the cake. It's being able to choose. And this is what Sadhguru does, in my opinion, or this is what he has done for me with raising my consciousness. So
there's more clarity, and to the choices you make, you become more conscious of what you're doing. Would you like to address what I asked, as to add on to what he has said?
I just, from my own experience, I work in a very busy, multitasking kind of environment. I think a lot of people can relate to this. There's so many demands that are placed on that. The phone is always ringing. Somebody's asking for this, asking for that. Something's going on in the background. Somebody honks a horn on the street. Suddenly it gets busy. Too many people are there. I noticed with me, I used to get really frazzled in those types of situations before. And now I do notice there is a change. I am a little bit more calm. I can stay within myself. There's no anxiety about these things when they actually happen. I think everybody needs this. I mean, we commute, there's always traffic. If you can have that choice between whatever it is that you're doing in the traffic, whether or not you choose to get angry or to choose to react when somebody cuts you off on the road, that itself is so empowering, and it's a small step, but it's a step that we all need to take.
Generally, spirituality is associated with the renouncing. You know, that's what in Eastern circles from where we come, that spirituality, you need to do this, you don't need to do this. So all those kind of ifs and buts come in mind, that in today's world, how can we renounce something? So what does spirituality mean to you, Alicia?
What Sadhguru offers is very beautiful. It's very profound. It's a yogic science. It's a technology which is distilled from ancient sciences that were given to us 15,000 years ago. So it's a gift. It is a true gift what Sadhguru is offering. And once you take advantage of what he has to offer, there's no need to...
So basically it's not renouncing of anything, but accepting and living in the moment about what life is.
That's right.
Okay. And finally, Kristin, Sadhguru is coming here. There's a big program, inner engineering program, which is happening. Which dates is it, and who can come and take part in that?
The dates are 27th and 28th of May. All the information and the registration is at www.innerengineering.com/SadhguruLive. And the phone number, Alicia, is?
604-900-1913.
And I believe anybody ages 15 and up can take the program. There is an online component. There's 7 online lessons that have to be taken before the program. And those contain the theoretical part that can be imparted through the online means.
So basically, when you register, then you are given access to that online course. So that is mandatory. You have to do that, and then you can come and participate on May 27th and 28th.
Exactly, with Sadhguru Live.
It was a pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you for your perspective about spirituality. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਟਿਨ ਅਤੇ ਅਲੀਸ਼ੀਆ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਆਈ। ਕ੍ਰਿਸਟਿਨ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਬੈਂਕਰ ਸੀ, ਮਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਟਸ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਭੱਜ ਦੌੜ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਕੂਨ ਆਇਆ, ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਦੋ ਦੌੜ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਕੋਈ ਫਸਿਆ ਪਿਆ ਇਸ ਰੈਟ ਰੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬੀਇੰਗ ਇਨ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੌਨਸ਼ੀਅਸਨੈਸ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਣਾ, ਇਹ ਬੜਾ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਹੈ। ਅਲੀਸ਼ਾ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਬੈਨਨ ਟਰੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਬੁੱਕ ਸਟੋਰ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਵਾਜਾਈ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਰੋਜ਼ਮਰਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਕਦੀ ਫੋਨ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਦੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਿਹਤ ਪੱਖੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੋਇਆ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਮਨੈਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। 27 ਮਈ ਅਤੇ 28 ਮਈ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਈਸ਼ਾ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਹਨ, ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਰਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਫ਼ੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।